Aku ngeri pintunya. Loh, iya kelihatan nggak kalian? Itu kaki doang. Halo, selamat datang kembali di channel saya Jimgon GG. Biasa, hari Kamis malam Jumat, apalagi kalau bukan GG, gerbang gaib. Oke, gak kerasa sudah seminggu ya. Jadi seperti biasa di hari Kamis malam ini kita akan nonton video Nuke Top 5 ya, video paranormal activity, dan kita akan melihat dan kita akan bereaksi gitu ya. Itu apa nyata, apa enggak nyata, hoax, editan atau apa ya, kita yang penting nonton aja. Kali ini saya masih setia dengan Top New 5 ya. Nah, judulnya ini Top 5 Ghost Videos to Scare Your Inner Demon. Waduh, ngeri kali kan? Kalau diterjemahkan bahasa Indonesia tuh 5 besar video hantu yang bisa bikin iblis dalam dirimu tuh takut. Nah loh, kok jeruk makan jeruk ya kan? Iblis takut iblis dong, gimana itu coba? Oke lah, tanpa berlama-lama lagi, langsung saja kita nonton videonya, oke? Let's go. Oke, langsung kita mulai ya. Let's go.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera.
5.
The lighthouse keeper.
5. Penjaga mercusuar kan, lighthouse itu kan.
If you're one of the very few people who have never watched BuzzFeed Unsolved on YouTube, the series can basically be
Itu kan orang mukanya aja gitu, basicnya aja udah serem betul itu, aduh.
summarized like this. It's sort of a ghost hunting show, but not a typical one. The show has two hosts, Ryan and Shane. Now, Shane is a diehard skeptic of the paranormal.
Anytime there's like any chance of sort of any kind of mechanical failure or just doors in general, people are always like, well, the door opens, so that's ghost. I don't want to argue with you on this. If you find it compelling, I'm happy for you.
I do find it compelling. Yeah,
great.
I'm happy for me too.
Good.
And then there's Ryan, who is the polar opposite, and might even be just a bit too scared of the supernatural.
Do not be afraid.
Menarik, berarti ini dua orang, yang satu skeptis, yang satu.
In each episode, the two hosts visit allegedly haunted places and investigate to search for real paranormal evidence.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate St. Augustine Lighthouse as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real?
No.
In this episode, they are investigating the notoriously haunted St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida. The lighthouse was completed in 1874 and has seen its fair share of tragedy over the nearly 200 years that it has been guiding sailors home from the sea. BuzzFeed Unsolved hosts Ryan and Shane begin their investigation at the historic Lightkeeper's house, which is right beside the lighthouse. People say that they have heard the endless and painful coughing of the spirit of a man named William Harn. He was the very first keeper of the lighthouse back in the 1800s. Harn tragically passed away inside the house of malaria and the lung disease tuberculosis. When they try to reach out to the spirit of William, the two friends capture something truly bizarre.
Oke, tunggu. Berarti bukan di mercusuarnya, tapi di rumah dekat mercusuarnya yang dipakai oleh penjaga mercusuarnya. Dan ini dicurigai hantunya adalah penjaga paling pertama dari mercusuar ini gitu loh.
Alright, we're gonna give you some silence here, William. If there's anything you'd like to say to us,
Dipanggil
maybe a message you wish you could have communicated before
Dipanggil
you left
namanya
Earth.
dong, William.
I'm gonna sit in one of these little tiny chairs and make me look like you. Gonna give you some silence right now.
Kok lampunya warnanya ungu gini ya? Yap. Kayak itu tulisannya batok tapi kayak gitu kan. Nah tuh.
Ryan and Shane capture the unexplained sound of someone coughing, just like guests claim to have heard in the past. Could this be the spirit?
Kedengeran nggak kalian? Coba aku balikin. Coba. Kayak bukan orang batuk kan, kayak orang gitu. Malah kayak ditonjokin ya.
Ryan and Shane captured the unexplained sound of someone coughing, just like guests claim to have heard in the past. Could this be the spirit of William, who died of tuberculosis? Next, Ryan and Shane finally enter the actual lighthouse,
Oh,
which is
ternyata juga dimasukin itunya, mercusuarnya.
said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity.
Best
Tangganya
ghost evidence of all time, in my
spiral
opinion,
gitu
or at least
dong.
some of it, has been caught right here in this little rotunda. I mean, they caught an apparition full out, just peeking over the railing.
It is said that paranormal investigators always have an experience in the lighthouse when they are alone. So to test this theory, both Ryan and Shane will be locked inside separately to investigate. Shane heads in first for his solo investigation, but he doesn't really experience much.
All right, so I'm going in there, I'm going to the top,
Yeah.
and I'm coming back down.
Yeah, that's the
Ini mirip itu jerit malam ya, waktu kita masih pramuka gitu kan, satu-satu suruh jalan. Kadang ada misinya suruh ngambil apa, tapi nanti panitianya nyamar-nyamar gitu loh, jadi hantu-hantuan gitu.
what you do in a staircase. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh ya, skeptik
It's a
dulu.
high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
Ditantang dong.
So far, no ghouls. This is allegedly the site of a lot of FBAs, or full-bodied apparitions. I feel nothing. I really don't. I don't get any vibes. I haven't felt anything strange all night. All right, see you later, dudes.
Next, it's Ryan's turn. And now before we
Kelihatannya sih seperti itu. Ini sugesti alam bawah sadar gitu loh. Kalau kita skeptik, kita berani, kita nggak takut. Merekanya juga nggak mau nyerang kita. Kelihatannya kalau kita udah takut, ya itu jadi sasaran empuk gitu loh ya kan.
proceed, it should be noted here that during the building of the lighthouse, a young girl named Eliza tragically lost her life while playing at the construction site. Visitors have reported seeing a young girl in a red dress inside the lighthouse who just faded away into thin air right before their eyes.
Oke,
Everyone who's
hantu
gone in there
anak perempuan.
has seen something, for the most part, if they've gone by themselves. You know what? I'm eager to add my name to that roster.
Bye.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Is there anybody in here with me right now? My name is Brian. What? Can you say my name back to me? Oh my god, I just heard Eliza.
Masa? Ya kayak ngomong itu kayak ngomong Eliza. Eliza itu spirit box ya itu ya. Yang dipegang tangannya itu.
Oh my god, I just heard Eliza. Oh my god. Eliza? Why do you sound like that?
Iya.
Oh my god, I'm panicking. Hear me.
Eh?
I do hear you. Oh my god, I just heard hear me. I got the chills. Why am I leaving? Is that what you just said? Because I'm scared, that's why. Sayonara, you've had your chance.
Turn off your radio.
I almost had a panic attack.
Did you? You are wet.
I said, who's up here? What's your name? And it just so clear, just Eliza.
Ryan is freaked out as he gets some very weird direct responses on his spirit box. One of the answers being Eliza, the name of the child that passed away at the lighthouse. Now, Shane, on the other hand, didn't capture anything and is completely unimpressed with the whole location. But after the video is uploaded to YouTube, many viewers pointed out that skeptical Shane might have actually caught the most compelling and absolutely chilling evidence of all.
Oh ya? Oh ya?
This is high time for a ghoul to come out and spook me.
Hah?
So far, no ghouls.
Did you see it?
Oh, itu di bawah tangga ya. I see it. Look.
Watch again.
This is high time
Bentar,
for a
aku
ghoul to
pause
come
nanti.
out and spook me.
Nah itu dia. Nah ini dia nih. Tuh di bawah tuh. Situ tuh. Nih. Kayak siluet orang ngadep tembok gitu ya. Buset, tadi nggak kelihatan bener.
So far, no ghouls.
A dark figure of a man can be seen standing at the bottom of the lighthouse. When the footage is brightened, the man has no distinguishable features and looks more like a black mass than a person. Now, Shane was completely alone inside the lighthouse when he filmed. So just who or what is this?
Iya ya. Ini kok kepalanya kok kayak rata, kayak topi kayak ini ya. Tapi dia kayak menghadap tembok gitu loh.
Could it be the ghost of one of the many deceased keepers who are said to haunt the lighthouse? You decide.
Yeah, you decide. Don't know. Aneh sih.
Alright, see you later, dudes.
Ya. Gimana ya?
The final night.
Waduh, nomor 4 sudah. The final night. Malam terakhir. Bukan malam pertama, tapi malam terakhir.
Alexander Labuzov from Russia says that he's been living in the same apartment for over 3 years. When suddenly and inexplicably, strange paranormal things began to happen around his home. Loud, unexplained noises would wake him up in the middle of the night. Things around the house would move on their own. And scariest of all, one night when he was in bed, sound asleep, someone or something suddenly grabbed onto his wrist, squeezing hard. He jerked his arm away and lurched out of bed, searching his room. But there was no one there. He says that the paranormal activity in his apartment just increased over time, until eventually he decided to just move out. So Alex is set to move out of his apartment the next day, but he decides to try to record the strange supernatural activity one last time.
Ya
This
elah.
video was meant to be Alex's last night in his apartment. First, he sits in front of his camera and explains what's been going on in his apartment. As he's talking, he hears something strange.
Я сразу же вскочил, включил свет.
Suka, blia.
Это не может не напугать.
Oke, itu kayak suara perabotan digeser. Kalian dengar juga kan? Tiba-tiba dong.
Просто знакомый звук. Так, изредка я услышал, похож.
Something moves somewhere in the apartment, and Alex believes it might have been the kitchen cabinet door. He decides to set up his camera in his bedroom and leaves for 2 hours to meet up with a friend.
Алло? Да, сейчас приеду, ага. Давай.
Gak ada yang
Alex
aneh.
turns off the light and leaves.
Oh, ditinggal.
What happens while he's gone is truly bizarre.
Kameranya burik sekali, hampir gak kelihatan apa-apa. Hah? Oke, pintunya gerak sendiri, menutup sendiri, pelan-pelan tapi pasti. Kena angin kah itu? Wow, mau nutup buka lagi gitu ya? Semacam kursi itu gerak sendiri ya? Wow, oke. Dia sadar nggak kalau perabotannya berubah tempatnya? Orangnya udah pulang nih. Nah, sadar nggak dia? Nggak sadar.
Alex returns home and just goes to bed. The next day, he discovers that his landlord is unavailable to pick up his apartment keys. And after reviewing his footage, Alex is unsatisfied with the potato quality video he has recorded in his dark apartment.
Yes, potato quality. Burik sekali itu tadi kameranya.
So, he decides to stay one more night. This time leaving
Astaga.
the camera recording, but with the lights on. Just like the night before, he again leaves to meet up with a friend.
Oke, kalian ditinggal tapi dalam keadaannya lampu nyala supaya nggak seburik yang tadi itu.
The camera captures something downright creepy.
Waduh. Get aku. Oke. Iya, rotasi sendiri itu. Aku ngeri di bagian pintunya itu ya. Apalagi itu pintunya cermin kan itu. Oke. Muter sendiri. Apa itu? Apa sih itu? Kabel. Itu tadi kabelnya goyang sendiri ya? Oke. Bagaimana caranya itu? Kalian nggak lihat. Sorry. Aku pindahin dulu kameranya ya. Pindahin ke sini dulu dah. Ke sini dulu ya. Besar sekali ini potonganku ya. Kecilin dulu dah. Pindahin dulu. Kalau nggak aku tapak kamera dulu aja lah. Tapak kamera dulu. Hilang dulu ya kameranya ya. Tuh. Kelihatan sedikit aja lah nih. Nah, itu di kanan atas tuh. Nah, raknya buka sendiri. Tuh, raknya buka sendiri. Wow, sampai sekencang itu bukanya dong. Oh, apa tadi itu barusan? Ada yang dilempar gitu dong. Oke, aku balikin dulu dah kameraku. Kelihatannya sudah aman kali ya. Aku kembalikan dulu kameraku. Maaf ya. Iya, beginilah ya. Nah, yuk kita lanjut yuk. Oke. Dari lemari yang terbuka tadi itu barang-barang berjatuhan. What? Kameranya.
Alex is shocked when he comes home as he discovers that his camera has somehow flipped upside down all on its own.
Kameranya
He grabs
goyang.
the camera and begins to film his thoughts on the strange situation.
Merinding gua
What
asli.
happens next is absolutely
Masih ada lagi?
terrifying.
Я смотрю, у нас сегодня рыбный день. Охереть вообще.
Aduh, aku kok ngeri ya.
Что там осталось? Слушай, ну вообще жесть. Ну что могу сказать? Это был последний день, поэтому мы уже...
Aku ngeri pintunya. Iya kelihatan nggak kalian? Itu kaki doang.
Это был последний день, поэтому мы уже...
Nah, kaki doang. Cuma dari pinggang ke kaki. Tadi sekilas nggak kelihatan lah gue. Tapi setelah aku perhatikan, astaga. Lihat. Hilang dong. Langsung hilang dong.
О,
Suka beliat.
до усрачки. Ее...
Ngeri kali.
Это можно вообще...
Jangan dong. Didatengin dong.
блядь. Так,
Masih ada kayak ini.
A
Ngeri
pair
aku.
of legs can be seen standing right behind Alex in the
Nah, itu dia.
door.
Jelas banget ini ya. Ya. Apa ya? Manekin atau apa ini? Ngeri kali.
way. The legs appear to have no torso and disappear before Alex can even turn around.
Nah, tapi cepet loh. Cuma kameranya goyang sedikit, hilang dong itu.
So, did Alex capture proof of the paranormal in his apartment? Or is it illusion? I leave it up to you to decide.
Ngeri.
Viewer videos.
Oke, nomor 3. Kali ini viewer videos ya. Jadi viewernya Nyuk ngirimin video-video semacam ini ya, paranormal activity. Ya ampun, yang tadi tuh ngeri banget ya. Sekilas nggak kelihatan dong. Setelah lihat baik-baik,
Ethan Budzinski was on a family vacation in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania when strange things began to happen in his rented Airbnb home. Late one night, Ethan and his family hear the sound of a baby crying from somewhere in the house. Now Ethan's 2 young nephews are asleep in bed upstairs, so he immediately runs up to check on them, only to find that they are both quietly asleep in bed.
Okay.
This occurs several times. Ethan hears crying, then goes upstairs to find the children quietly asleep. So the next time Ethan hears the crying, he pulls out his phone and starts recording.
Iya benar. Yes, aku juga dengar itu. Kalian dengar nggak? Coba nih aku balik ya. Suaranya kayak gitu. Nah. Ya kan? Jelas ya? Oke. Lubang-lubang kayak gitu tuh ngeri aku. Kalau tiba-tiba ada yang nongol dari situ dong. Aduh. Geloteng kah itu?
Did you hear it too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just went up there and he was sound asleep.
Okay, that's what I heard.
Merinding aku. Yang tadi aja udah serem gitu. Jangan tiba-tiba
The
dong.
eerie sound of a child crying can indeed be heard coming from somewhere upstairs. Both Ethan and a family member hear the sound, but when he heads upstairs to check, just like before, the children are fast asleep and not making a sound. So just where is this strange, unexplained crying coming from? Let me know what you think down in the comments.
Gitu aja?
A British
Oke, kalau gitu aja ada satu kemungkinan ya. Ini settingan semua kan. Si anak kecil itu memang pura-pura ngeluarin suara, kayak nangis gitu kan. Terus tidur lagi, pura-pura tidur. Itu bisa. Atau suara tadi editan belakangan. Yap, kita nggak ngerti lah. Ya, jadi kita next aja ya. Itu terserah kalian gimana. Mau percaya apa enggak gitu.
British Top by viewer who wishes to remain anonymous, we'll call her Jen, says that she had a chilling experience that wasn't paranormal.
Ini ngirim video sampai minta disamarin dong namanya. Namanya Jen. Oh no. Aku kenal cewek juga ya bernama Jen. Oke itu Jen.
Normal, but was terrifying nonetheless. And as I've personally always said on this channel, real people can be much scarier than anything supernatural.
Itu cuma video
So late one night around midnight, Jen starts receiving messages from a guy on Facebook. At first, she plays along, but the messages from the stranger just get creepier and creepier. I'll correct some of the typos and slang and save you from listening to me doing a terrible British accent. But what you see on screen are the actual messages. So, at one point, the guy suddenly writes, "Well, since you're up, can I come and meet you then?" "Yes, I am mental. I'm on my way down to your house. I'll ring when I'm outside." Thinking he's joking, Jen laughs it off, writing back, "You don't even know where I live." And then the guy starts trying to creepily call her on Facebook, because it turns out that he does actually know exactly where she lives. He types, "You live next to my granny's house on the corner." Then he continues to call her, and things go from bad to worse, because he actually shows up right in front of her house. Don't make me knock, please, he messages. I'm outside the center window right now. Jin is now understandably completely freaked out. She tells the guy that she is not coming out under any circumstances. But he won't take no for an answer. Is that your window at the front? How do I get in your back garden? Jin replies, you don't, and ends the conversation. But it did not end there. Jin says the disturbed young man stood in front of her house for almost 2 hours. He eventually left after her family members went outside and told him to leave or they would call the police. So I guess the takeaway is either be careful of who you talk to online or simply Facebook sucks.
Oke, jadi ini nggak ada hantu-hantunya sama sekali. Ini cuma stalker yang gila ya. Kalau udah stalker tuh memang ngeri. Mau dibuntutin terus mau berjam-jam ya udah betah itu. Aduh, creepy memang itu beneran. Bisa melanggar hukum, bisa dilaporkan tuh kayak gitu, mengganggu kenyamanan dan ketenangan kan.
Susan's Courtside Cafe in
Oke, berarti yang tadi intermezzo, nggak ada hantu-hantunya sama sekali. Next.
Kissimmee, Florida was originally built in 1912, and over most of the last 100 years, the building was actually a small home for many families and individuals. Locals believe that the building the cafe is in is haunted by the spirits of its former residents. Workers at the cafe say that they often hear unexplained noises while working late at night, and both the staff and visitors claim to have seen bizarre shadow figures throughout the restaurant.
Oke, ini di restoran ya, banyak saksi mata ngeliatin paranormal activity dari suara kayak dari wujud kayak ya.
Nuke's top 5 viewer Valerie Ann says that she went on a Halloween ghost tour in Kissimmee that stopped at the allegedly haunted Susan's Courtside Cafe, and it seems that the rumors of paranormal activity might be true. Valerie caught this strange footage.
Sorry. And they said that they had closed. I just saw something walk by. They heard it open.
Huh?
And then
really?
Did you see it?
No, I don't see it. Apa ini? Ini kah tadi ini? Ada item-item lewati. Itu kah?
It's a little hard to make out, but a dark figure seems to quickly pass through the cafe dining room before just disappearing. Someone in the tour group mentions it, but Valerie Ann is shocked when she discovers that she actually caught the apparition on camera. She says that she has no idea who or what this mysterious
Ini bukan cermin, bukan pantulan itu?
Figure could be.
Nggak jelas ya.
But what do you think?
I don't know, kelihatannya cuma bayangan ya.
Of the Jin.
Nomor 2, the home of the Jin, rumahnya Jin dong.
One of the OG Saudi door-kicking ghost hunters that I first featured on this channel, Adventurer Allah, is back with an all-new YouTube channel. In this live stream,
Timur Tengah asli. Timur Tengah asli.
Allah goes to investigate a large abandoned building that is said to be haunted by an evil presence, or Jin. As he broadcasts his exploration live, things take a terrifying turn.
Live loh, ini live loh dia.
يا جماعة
Oh, halo.
شيء أنا ما أشوفه على طول على الخاص. بسم الله. بسم الله.
Oke, goyang sendiri.
الله أكبر.
Yap, jelas seorang muslim di Timur Tengah berhadapan dengan jin. Oke. Tadi balik sendiri kayak itu misalnya. Oke, kayak mau dikurung dong dia.
Even though there's no power in the building, the ceiling fan begins to rotate on its own. Then a heavy table falls over right behind Allah. Freaked out, he runs away, retreating to a different section of the large building. But little does Allah know, things are about to get even creepier.
Waduh, kalau Nuk udah ngomong gitu udah. Apa itu? Kok disensor? Hah?
حسبي الله.
Itu kah itu?
الله لا إله.
Ini kah? Ini kah yang tipis ini kah? Ini kah?
لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض
Dia ngeluarin apa tadi itu barusan?
الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم.
Iya ini ya, bayangan ini. Tapi tadi kayak ngibain apa itu? Didoain nggak mempan lagi.
ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده
Itu gerak kah?
حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Tetap berdoa, brother. Itu apa sih disensor? Hilang dong. Gila, suara ngetok besi ya. Itu pintunya goyang sendiri.
كان في هذا المكان سحر مفطل.
Keluar lagi. Oh yo.
الله أكبر.
Didatangin ya. Hati nanti kalau kamu dikurung di dalam gimana?
في أحد؟ في أحد في المكان؟ بسم الله.
Tongkat kruknya itu terbang sendiri tadi.
حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل فيكم.
Ngeri
الله
banget
لا
ini.
إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم
Dilempar itu ke arahnya
ولا
kata dia tuh.
يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض.
Gerak lagi kan.
Terrifying dark mist-like figure can be seen in a doorway. And a
Itu apa sih kayak ngibain sesuatu rambutnya kayak.
pair of crutches aggressively flies across the room right in front of the terrified explorer. He investigates the area, but nothing there. The mysterious dark
Itu apa
mist
sih?
has simply disappeared. But it's not over yet.
Masih ada lagi? Anjir.
اللهم إن كان هذا سحر مفطل اللهم إن كان هذا سحر مفطل اللهم إن كان في سحر مدفون مفطل
Yang tadi aja udah parah gitu
كان في
menurutku.
سحر معقود مفطل. في صوت أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
Oke, piringnya goyang sendiri.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
Terus berdoa, brother.
الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
Itu apa tuh cahaya apa itu? Oh, lampu dari luar kayak itu.
الله هو السميع العليم. اللهم إن كان هذا سحر مفطل اللهم إن كان
Dia lari juga akhirnya.
A plate falls off a table on its own, then another ceiling fan begins to rotate, and a large heavy closet moves as if pushed by some powerful unseen force. Something is thrown at Allah, injuring his foot. And after that, he's had about enough. Allah decides to just get out of there
Get out.
and end his live stream. So did adventurer Allah capture a real haunting by a terrifying jinn? Or is it all just a very elaborate hoax? You decide. Return to the Red House.
Gak kerasa udah nomor pertama, kembali ke rumah merah.
Paranormal investigator Kevin Barranco from the YouTube channel Archivo Extinto returns to explore the historic La Casa
Dia ngomong return, berarti sebelumnya itu udah pernah main-main ke situ. Belum kapok ternyata.
Colorada, or the Red House, in Guadalajara, Mexico. The house was built in 1923, and it is said that the remote and secluded location became a place where cults performed dark rituals.
Waduh, tempat markasnya sekte sesat dong ini
Those
ya.
brave enough to explore the old house claim to have seen witches, demons, and even the skeletal female figure of Santa Muerte, a Mexican saint who is said to wear a long cloak and be the personification of death itself. Now, 2 months ago, I featured Kevin's first visit to the Red House.
Oh, berarti ada di video Nuke sebelumnya nih, yang petualangan pertama orang ini.
Years ago, while exploring the house with his friends, the group captured something that they simply couldn't explain.
Apa? Bisa lihat previewnya kan? Oh, ini previewnya nih, yang sebelumnya.
Frases.
Hah?
No sé, quizás unas por vandalismo, otras por sectas. La verdad es que no desconocemos el significado y la verdad es que no queremos saber sobre ello.
Suspense-nya itu benar-benar bikin aku ngeri. Mana?
Hace mucho frío, ¿eh? Sí.
Aku turunin dulu kameranya. Ternyata dia keluar dari samping dong. Nah, ini ya. Keluar dari samping dia. Kelihatan nggak kalian tuh? Nah, tuh. Tipis ya? Hampir nggak kelihatan. Ini rambut. Terus ini jubah putihnya kayak Mbak Kunti ya.
Mucho frío, ¿eh? Hace bastante.
Oke, itu dia.
Mucho frío, ¿eh? Hace bastante.
Oke, aku kembalikan lagi kameranya. Gini ya. Ini dah.
2 years later, after many requests from his fans, paranormal investigator Kevin returns to the quote Red House in hopes of capturing even more paranormal evidence. But this time, he decides to go back all alone.
Wah, kali ini sendirian.
Yes, it did not go well. Kevin sets up several static cameras around the house. Then he lights 3 candles and starts to ask questions to who or whatever might be haunting the abandoned home.
Kenapa?
Kevin is using the English Spirit Box app and translates the responses to Spanish. Before long, very strange things start to happen.
Wow.
Voy a utilizar
Scarlet kan merah ya?
¿Podrías hacerme daño?
Lempar. Wah, dia main spreading dong si kakinya. Hati-hati itu dilempar loh, ditimpuk lo, hati-hati lo.
Lanzar.
Itu
As
maksudnya.
Kevin repeats the word throw in Spanish, a heavy piece of rubble is seemingly thrown off the edge of a large hole in the wall. Kevin grabs his camera and walks through the building in search of anything paranormal.
Aduh, gelap banget, gak kelihatan apa-apa. Terus di kanan bawah itu apa sih? Oh, dia itu tewas senternya. Hah? Mana? Mana sih? Oh, ini. Kayak ngintip gitu langsung masuk dia. Oke. Iya. Cepat banget. Hampir nggak kelihatan. Gelap banget loh. Tiba-tiba ada saya.
The ghost hunter's light begins to fail. Then he hears a noise and turns. Without knowing it at the time, he captures something strange in the darkness, quickly darting out of sight. Soon after, Kevin's camera begins to malfunction and things take an even more terrifying turn.
Aduh.
Mi cámara está trabada. Y vean.
Apa? Freezing temperatur kah?
Mi cámara está trabada.
Kameranya rusak. Iya dong, diem dong. Hah?
Está trabada. Se trabó. Está completamente trabada, vean. Lo voy a apagar. No. Ven. Ahí se apagó, pero sigue trabada. ¿Me quieres hacer daño?
Jangan dipanggil.
Voy a cambiarla. Voy a sacarle la pila. Ya.
Iya sih, kedengeran kayak suara kayak orang gitu sih. Itu? Ini? Hah? Oh, oke. Kukira ini, ternyata ini tadi kayak item-item lewat gitu. Nah, itu dia. Nah, kayak kain ya.
Kevin's camera completely locks up, and as he changes the battery, a wailing moan can be heard.
Suaranya
followed by the
jelas
mysterious
banget
voice of a
suaranya.
woman.
Ya, suaranya kedengeran banget sih. Kalian dengar juga kan?
He goes to investigate and captures what appears to be the same mysterious cloaked figure that the Archivo Extinto team captured just 2 years earlier.
Iya sih, kayak kain, kayak jubah gitu loh, hitam-hitam gitu.
Kevin searches the building and the grounds, but he doesn't find anyone or anything.
Kayak semacam Dementor gitu ya, jubah hitam-hitam
His
gitu.
equipment continues to malfunction repeatedly. He decides he's had enough.
Okay.
He packs up
Get out.
and just gets out of there.
Get out.
So could it be that Kevin captured the apparition of Santa Muerte, the cloaked lady of death? Let me know what you think.
Wow.
You can watch this full 3-part investigation over on the YouTube channel, Archivo Extinto. Thanks for watching. Please
Oh,
follow
udah
me
selesai
on
ya, nggak kerasa ya.
here, and on the Twitter
Yeah,
here,
let's go.
and even on the TikTok. Hopefully, I'll see you next week.
Oke, udah kelar guys. Oke, sudah selesai ya video Gerbang Gaib episode kali ini ya. Di minggu kali ini, Kamis malam Jumat. Waduh, ngeri juga, merinding aku. Terutama yang di Rusia itu, yang cuma muncul kaki doang gitu dong. Aduh, bingung aku. Apa itu manekin atau gimana? Trik kamera atau apa, tapi tetap aja creeping. Lihat, cuma kaki doang, badannya nggak ada dong. Aduh, tapi ya good lah. Benar-benar bagus ini episode kali ini ya menurut gue. Sampai bikin inner demon saya takut kan. Iblis kok takut iblis gitu loh. Nah, gitu aja ya. Terima kasih loh sudah nonton di channel saya di Dukung GG Gerbang Gaib episode kali ini. Kalau suka konten-konten seperti ini ya kan, selain saya ada game, nanti rencananya saya juga akan bahas Arsenal. Saya nunggu musimnya mulai dulu. Jadi juga ada konten seperti ini Gerbang Gaib ya. Kita reaksi video-video paranormal, oke. Nah, karena saya selalu paling suka nonton yang punya ya Nuke Top 5 ini. Kalian silakan mampir ke channelnya Nuke ya. Saya kasih linknya di deskripsi ya kan, di bawah ini. Silakan mampir, silakan di-subscribe kalau kalian suka konten-konten paranormal. Ya, aduh sampai suaranya hilang dong. Kalau kalian juga suka konten-konten saya, silakan di-like, share, subscribe channel saya. Saya akan sangat berterima kasih sekali. Enggak pun enggak apa-apa, karena di sini semuanya bebas. Bebas toh bas. Oke, gitu aja ya. Sampai jumpa di waduh, sampai batuk tuh. Sampai jumpa di Gerbang Gaib berikutnya, di episode-episode berikutnya. Sampai jumpa di minggu depan. Oke. Bye-bye. Saya tutup dulu lubang intipnya.